We can always cut it.
We can always edit it. You can keep it rolling. Oh, all right. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Allison from Siller Pollinator Company, and today I'm going to show you how to put a package of honeybees in. We have our package here. It's a 3-pound package with a mated queen. And the first thing you want to do is get dressed. Make sure that you have protection on, because even though these bees are probably in a very gentle state, anything can happen, so you want to be safe and prepared. You want to also make sure you have all your supplies. So here we have a hive tool, a flag, which you'll learn the reason for that later, a rubber band, and a can opener. We also have a spray bottle full of sugar water that we made along with this large container of sugar water, which we're only going to give this package a little bit of, but we're doing a lot of packages today. So we have this big 3-gallon jug of sugar water. This sugar water is 1-to-1 by volume, cup for cup. And each package needs about a half to a gallon of that mix. So you want to make sure that your hive is completely set up, everything is ready to go. You do not want to find out when your bees are sitting here in this vulnerable position, which, by the way, they can only stay like this for a couple of days, so you need to make sure you're prepared. They will not live like this forever. Make sure that your equipment is already set up so that you don't have any surprises. So we're going to take the lid off. And in here we have a top feeder. So this is what we're going to put our sugar water in for the bees to eat. They can climb up through that hole and access the sugar water through this hole under this lid. We'll do that later. So here's our frames. And the first thing we're going to do is pull 3 of them out. Set them to the side. And then you pull a 4th one out, and you take your rubber band and you put it around. This one is going to be for our queen. Then you take your sugar spray and you spray all in the hive to make it sweet and delicious. Spray all over the frame that you're putting the queen on, and that can go in the center. And really spray these frames good that you have setting out. You want everything to taste very yummy as soon as the bees hit this space, so that the first thing they do is start eating. Okay, we got our supplies, we got our package, our frames are ready to accept our queen. So the next thing we're going to do is remove this little wooden lid from the package. And you can do that with your hive tool. It's usually just 2 staples. I just go right under there, pop it right off. Now you see this metal can. This is a can full of sugar syrup that your bees eat during transport. And that's why they can't last forever in here, because they can't only survive on sugar syrup, and when this can runs out, they're out of food. They also run out of water, they get thirsty, so that's why they can only live a couple of days in here. So our first and most important task is find our queen and make sure she's alive. So the easiest way to do that is what I call the ceremonious bonk. Bonk them down, and then you got to get your can out as fast as you can. Tipping it to the side is the easiest way to do that. Have your little piece of wood handy. Flip your queen cage out. Put that wood back on. That way most of your bees stay inside. Okay. Now we're going to get this queen off of this little staple. And we're going to check and make sure she's okay. So it might be hard to see with the screen in the video, but the queen is... Get out of the way, you. The queen is the bigger bee in here, and she is alive and well. And you'll notice that this queen cage has a white blob inside. That is like a fondant candy. The queen cage has 2 openings. A direct release with just a cork in the hole, and a candy end with a cork. And behind this cork is fondant candy. And basically what this is like a hourglass. So when you pop this cork out, now all of the bees can access this candy, and they will chew through it. And it takes them usually about 2 days. And once they've chewed all the way through it, the queen can be released. And the reason this is important is because these bees have only just met this queen, and the acclimation process of a group of bees and a new queen takes about 72 hours. So you do not want to immediately release her, because it's very likely if you let her out straight away that they will kill her. So they need time to be able to touch her, smell her, see her, feel her before she comes out. And then when she does, they will accept her and love her and take care of her, and the whole colony will start doing what they need to do. But super important that you use the time release mechanism. So this is where your flag comes in handy. I love to use a piece of wire to do this. You can use your hive tool, but I find that it's very difficult, and I often accidentally push the cork in instead of out, like when you mess up opening a bottle of wine. So I use a piece of wire, and then the reason that I use a flag is because if you just use a piece of wire, you'll drop it in the grass over and over and never be able to find it again. But when you have a flag, you can find it. If you're like me and you throw your tools all over the floor as you're working. So we're gonna pop the cork on the candy side out, just like that. And now that candy is exposed. We're gonna hang our queen under our rubber band, candy side up. Now the reason for that is this queen has attendants in here. When she has attendants in here, she lives longer in this cage. They take good care of her while she's in here. When she's alone, she's kind of useless. Here's a drone. That's a male bee. She's not very good at taking care of herself, so she has little minions in here with her. Those minions could die at any time. They're ticking time bombs. So if you have it this way and the minions die, they can actually block the opening. But if you turn it this way and the minions die, they'll fall to the bottom and the queen can still climb out because, you know, gravity. So, queen goes in. Now we're just going to take the rest of our bees and shake them in. Once you get down to the last few you can't shake, I give it one more ceremonious bonk and one more good shake. You'll never get them all, so don't even try. And then set this right here with this opening really close to their entrance, because by tonight all these bees will have found their queen and meandered back inside the house. So they're already climbing up on her, excited to be in their new home. Now we're going to take our 3 frames. They're all eating. They're eating the sugar water that we put in here. I don't know if you can see, Malcolm. See, they're eating here. And you very, very gently, try not to squish anybody, put these frames back in. Just like that. Now we're going to put our inner cover back on. And our feeder. It's very important to feed your package bees when you first put them in, because they don't know where they are, they don't know where the flowers are, but they're hungry. So we need to do them a favor. Some people feed throughout the whole first year. You can do that. It won't necessarily hurt them to feed throughout the whole first year, but you should definitely feed for maybe the first month or 2. And then see how their food stores look. If they don't have any stored honey, feed. If they do have stored honey, maybe you don't need to feed. Keep an eye on that. Because I'm such a cheapskate, I'm going to recycle this sugar water. That drain. It's pretty thick. This is some 2-to-1 syrup, so they've got it thick and heavy. And then that goes in the trash. And then we've got our 1-to-1 syrup here, and we've added a little bit of like Pro Health or Honeybee Healthy or Hive Alive. You just give them about a half a gallon of that. Save your swimmers. Come on now. And close it up. Pro tip, if you don't have to return your package, cut some of this screen out because it's going to come in handy for mite testing kits or closing up hives for transport. This is really hard to get hardware cloth, so take this out of your package and then, you know, you can burn the rest. And that's it.